So, wow, what is a film festival? Such a large question. And there are different sizes of film festivals and different types, but traditionally it is a film screening of some sorts. So, like the Birdwatching Film Fest is a collection of short films every month of Kansas or Missouri made films. The idea of it is it's an exhibition of films that do not traditionally have distribution in a larger way. Like the normal films you see in theaters, they're being distributed by large companies. These are films that are made by independents like ourselves, and that goes to different sizes based on festivals. But it is a way for artists to exhibit their art in front of someone else. It's just like a painter would have a showing at a studio. We have film festivals to show our films to see how an audience receives it and grow and also make connections and other types of things like that.
Without any further ado, I would like to invite our panelists up for this evening. We have the pleasure of bringing up Patrick Poe to the stage, who is the IFCKC's vice president, as well as one of the curators for the Birdwatching Film Festival, hosted right here at the Bird Comedy Theater. And then there's a human named Joe, who is also
right
here. Hey, Joe.
He's right there.
Come on up. I don't really know much about Joe. This is our first time meeting, but they are one of the curators for the First City Film Festival held in Leavenworth, so please give a big round of applause for Joe. And they can tell you their last name. Wilson. I think
That's the things I need to remember. I do lights and sound for everything.
Lights and sound for everything. So a better introduction than I can do as someone who has not met you before. Can you please introduce yourself to our lovely audience?
My name is Joe Wilson. I've been involved with the First City Film Festival since 2019. The second year that it was in. Survived that one.
Survived.
Yes, we had a flood.
Yeah.
We had to move the film festival halfway through the day, Saturday. Yeah, that was fun. Everybody chipped in. The entire audience, all of the filmmakers.
I think more film festivals should have disasters like that. Because the beauty of it is we all did have to help move the festival from one building across the street to another building and reset up stages and lights and screens. And because of that, that is the most team building exercise. It was like being on set with everybody and you all became best friends instantly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I think plan more disasters for film festivals.
Then the next year, COVID hit.
Sure. That wasn't as good of a disaster.
2 weeks before the film festival started, we got shut down. Yeah. So how many more places we got to go?
Hopefully no more.
Okay.
Yes. With that, really quickly, I feel like I come from the world of being an actor. So normally actors are very left out of the film festival kind of discussion.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've not even known that a film was playing at a festival until I arrived or saw the program. So I would love for you all to try your best to explain what is a film festival and what is the purpose of a film festival for a filmmaker?
Okay, yeah. So, wow, what is a film festival? Such a large question. And there are different sizes of film festivals and different types, but traditionally it is a film screening of some sorts. So, like the Birdwatching Film Fest is a collection of short films every month of Kansas or Missouri made films. The idea of it is it's an exhibition of films that do not traditionally have distribution in a larger way. Like the normal films you see in theaters, they're being distributed by large companies. These are films that are made by independents like ourselves, and that goes to different sizes based on festivals. But it is a way for artists to exhibit their art in front of someone else. It's just like a painter would have a showing at a studio. We have film festivals to show our films to see how an audience receives it and grow and also make connections and other types of things like that. Do you think I did it?
Yeah.
Tight.
It's fun for me because it's a chance to see the filmmakers watching people get invested in everything they've been doing for however many months or years, and get a chance to see people react to your work.
Yeah, I mean, I come from the theater. I was originally going to college for theater, and I pivoted to film, and it was interesting seeing the difference because theater is an immediate response. You get on stage, a person laughs, a person claps, you bow, you get told you're awesome, you get flowers, and you leave. But film, you get to do your art in a very hard way, kind of, and it's repetitive, and it's a really weird process for an artist that's an actor. And then the person takes the footage and leaves, and then an editor gets it, and it sits in post for however long, and they tinker with it for forever, and you never see it. And then someday you're at KC Film Fest, and you're like, oh fuck, that's screening? I was in that, that's cool. Yeah, and then hopefully you get to see that somebody saw it. It's totally different, but it's really rewarding. I love it. I don't know.
So to try to summarize potentially, because one of my questions is, what are the benefits of a film festival? It's an exhibition platform for
Yeah.
you to be able to see how your film is perceived by different audiences.
Beyond just the exhibition platform, to see how it's perceived by an audience, which I think is so important. Like Joe said, in 2020, I had a feature film that me and my producing partner Lolo had just finished, and it was supposed to premiere at First City Film Fest. It was supposed to then go to KC Film Fest, and it had a handful of other film festivals lined up. The pandemic happened, and a lot of festivals reached out to us and said, would you like to be a part of an online festival? And we said no, because even though we didn't know if we were going to have festivals ever again, we make comedies. I want the experience of sitting in an auditorium, in a theater, seeing where people laugh, seeing how they laugh, because it's the only place where I'm going to learn how to grow. Because I can make my film in its own vacuum and watch it in my living room and be like, oh, I like that, but I'm not going to get better doing that. So it's yes, you get to see it in front of an audience and see how you can improve, but you also get to see what others are making to kind of like be like, oh, that's really good, I want to be that good. And then you also get to meet those filmmakers, hopefully, and you get to network. And like, I'm a full-time freelance filmmaker, and on March 1st and 2nd, I'm going and making a film with a friend who I met at a film festival 8 years ago, and we're being paid to do it. So like, it can create networking of opportunities that will get you jobs in the future in this industry. That's the benefit.
Absolutely. We had a couple of student filmmakers in 2019 that later got together, collaborated, did some other stuff, and it's been interesting watching their careers grow, going from high school students doing a little short to working in the industry in Hollywood.
I mean, like talking about Micah Streeter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was at First City Film Fest 2019. He was the only person really that sat for a feature film from a guy from LA that like came to town to see it. Unfortunately, had a really small audience, but because of that, him and Micah created a really great bond. And the next year, Micah moved to LA, and Micah worked on Joker 2. Like, that's where you can create those bonds. That's where you can create those friendships that can take you a lot further.
Yeah. How many people have not attended a film festival before? Which is a pretty significant amount. I feel like as an actor, I very much did it wrong. I was like, I'm going to every single film that I can possibly go to, and I'm going to be running from each venue. And I didn't meet pretty much anyone.
That was exactly my first Film Fest experience.
So,
When me and Lolo got our first film in a KC Film Fest, we were like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the big leagues. We've made it. And we went to KC Film Fest. We saw a fuck ton of movies. It was awesome. And I saw movies that like I would never see anywhere else and that still stick with me in my brain. And I'm like, oh, that was a really cool movie that probably 7 other people have seen. But I met no other filmmakers. I kind of met nobody. I lived in my insular bubble of seeing films, which was a really great experience, but you're right, isn't necessarily the best way to play it. I do think, though, you should go to films. It's a really weird balance. There's this really hard game to play at Film Fest where you want to see as much as you can because it's the best way to start a conversation and be like, I saw your film. I know what your film was. That's a great connection. But if you see a film that doesn't have a filmmaker in attendance, sometimes that can be more difficult. So it's about like bobbing and weaving your schedule between the networking events and hanging out in the lounge and going to a film with a person you just met and going to a person who you just met's film and kind of like meandering it yourself and like working it the best you can, I think.
Yeah, one of the things that I enjoy about First City Film Festival is big party Friday night, after party, after party. Try and get a nap in before the filmmaker breakfast the next morning, which is open to all the filmmakers that are involved in the film festival. It's a good chance for them to just sit down, talk, network, talk about who they like, talk about who they don't like. But it's a chance to watch these little seeds grow, and watching these ideas come to fruition over the years has been really fun for me.
Yeah, I mean, like when I get a festival program, like First City is happening March 20th.
21st, 22nd, 23rd.
Great job. And when that program comes out, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to be like, all right, what are the local films I haven't seen yet? I'm going to try to prioritize those films. I'm also going to try to figure out who is like a friend of mine that maybe like, oh, I could ask them for a screener. Because there's some films you can't see them all. So like,
absolutely. There's no way.
I'll be like, okay, well that one I'm gonna miss. So I'll already when I see them be like, cool, can you send me a link? I would love to see it. I'd love to talk about it. And then I'll also at that filmmaker breakfast and that Friday night thing. Friday night is the awards show. So there I get to learn what the judges thought was good. And I'm like, okay, I've got to try to see those. And then Saturday morning breakfast, I'm sitting at that breakfast going, who is here? What is your movie? When is it? And I'm throwing away the entire schedule I made the weeks in advance and rewriting it based on who I've met in the room right then.
Yeah. It's
plan, be flexible,
Yeah,
throw it
exactly.
in the fire,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
have fun. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
don't be afraid something weird's gonna happen.
So getting back to the lens of a filmmaker wanting to submit. So Patrick, I understand your flow for bird watching is theme based.
Yeah.
But what kinds of, this is such a broad question, what kinds of films do you look for when you are programming?
Joe, you're a programmer for First City. You watch all the movies.
Is there something particular that you're always looking out for?
Short and sweet. Yeah, it's great to see a 2-hour-long movie. Programming it sucks. We have 3 screening rooms, and we have, I think this year, 10 or 12 movies that are pushing 2 hours. That's eating up a lot of screen time that's taken away from all the smaller films. It's trying to balance the long ones with the short ones, locals, international, which we do have international films.
Do you guys, before you start a season, have like a number of slots for features and for shorts, or is it really come what may, like
We pray
figure
a
it
lot.
out? Yeah.
It is come what may.
Okay.
We had things as short as, I think, 45 seconds to a minute, and this year we had one that was submitted 3 hours long.
Whoa.
It was an infomercial about some medication that may or or may not actually help the disease. And it's like this one person talking about a report they read off of some internet website for 3 hours. That's what I said.
Yeah, I mean, we had a
It's finding a way to get your point across, kind of. Yeah, I can see doing like a 10-minute long shot of all kinds of stuff. Does it have to be 10 minutes long to get the message across? It's weeding out the little bits and pieces to get it down to a nice, manageable format.
Yeah, we had a 2-minute micro short that we sent out to festivals probably 6 years ago now. But it was one of the films that got into a lot more festivals for us early on than things had previously. We would have programmers and festival directors come up to us and be like, I would love a micro short.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
we can program your movie so much.
And
I'm like,
get-
fuck yeah, let's go.
And you
Like,
get it screened more times.
exactly, yeah. And like, it's hard to be like, make your movie shorter. But sometimes that's,
Sometimes it's got to be that long to get the point across, to tell the story you're wanting to tell.
yeah, I mean, so for bird watching, like you said, we take films, Kansas, Missouri, all year long. They are on a rotating kind of, they all exist in a spreadsheet. And once I have enough that I feel like they pair together to make a night that makes sense, that I can program together, that they communicate in some way, then that's when we program your film pretty much. And some people will reach out because I'm like, oh, I've seen that at a film festival. Can I pull that into this night so that it all makes sense? But I'm looking for about 80 to 95 minutes of programming every month. And in that, obviously, if you have a 30-minute short, that's 1/3 of the night. Let's say most people's shorts are on average 11 minutes. I could fit 3 of those 11-minute movies in where your 30-minute movie goes. And sometimes I have to think, well, is this 30-minute movie so good, it's worth having it instead of these 3 11-minute movies? And like, if these 3 11-minute movies, let's say in an arbitrary world, because you have to somehow judge them, let's call the 3 11-minute movies, they're all, you have 2 of them that are 8s and 1 is a 5. But the 30-minute movie's like a 7, I'd rather show 2 8s than a 5. So like, it gets to be about time sometimes,
Oh, absolutely.
which sucks to say.
Yeah. This year we're fortunate enough, fingers crossed, 3 screening rooms again,
Yeah.
instead of just 2 like last year. So that gives us an additional day's worth of screening, basically. We'll be running films from probably 11 in the morning through 9 at night on Saturday, then Sunday from about 10 or 11 until, I think last year we ran about 8.
And you guys, what's a great thing about First City, just because I love First City Film Fest, is that your film often gets programmed more than once also.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a short film.
Yeah, and by having that extra screening room, we can do that.
Yeah.
And last year, it hurt my heart because there were some good films that I'd like to have seen shown more than once or twice.
Yeah.
So, with talking about films short and sweet and things like that, what would you consider to be a mistake in either the submission process or in the films themselves that you would point out to say, to pinpoint one common mistake? If you could pick one each
Oh,
that you wish that
jeez.
like filmmakers could nip in the butt.
A really specific one for my festival, and I'll get a better one that's general here in a second, but a specific one for bird watching is I want to know that you're local. I want to know that you're Kansas or Missouri. I want to know how you relate to one of those places. So either have in your director statement or have in your director bio how
What are
you
those?
are here. So it's all on Film Freeway. And,
Oh, wow.
After the
Segue.
break, someone's going to
Segue.
walk us through Film Freeway. So there you go.
Wow.
Getting a link 2 days before the film festival starts going, we recut the entire film. It's now 20 minutes longer. And the sound is Dolby 85.2. We've got 2 speakers in each room. It doesn't need to be that grand. Yeah, it sounds great through headphones, but in a big room, it's not going to be worth it. We've had a lot of filmmakers send us fantastic films, and they change their mind and re-edit it a week or two before the film festival and say, this is the one we want to show, and we've got to reprogram it. Sound is another one. Oh, God.
Yeah, good sound. You got a good
Oh, yeah.
sound.
You could only pick one. I'm so sorry.
Oh, the other one.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that director statements and bios are very important, as well as a clear understanding of your own film.
Yeah, what I'm saying about the director bio and statements, because like for me, I want it specific to Kansas or Missouri, but like use it to your advantage. Tell them why they should program your movie, because you have kind of three chances on Film Freeway. You've got your bio, you've got your director's statement, and then it also has the ability to put in a cover letter for your film. Those are all opportunities for you to explain to that film festival why you should be there. If you're a first-time filmmaker, tell them. I know I, as a programmer, I'm gonna judge that different. Like straight up, I am. If you're a high schooler, if you're in college, I wanna know those things. And it's gonna color the way I'm gonna watch the film, probably in a good way. Like, use those things to your advantage any way you can.
Yeah.
Tell us why your story is important.
Yeah. Like Patrick said, give us details about you, why you want the film seen.
It's so funny that I'm saying this on this stage because I'm also a filmmaker that submits, and I was literally at Tallgrass in October, and they were like, write a director's statement. And I was like, really? Do I have to? I don't wanna. And then I'm sitting here like, do it. And like, oh shit, I do have to, don't I? Like, yeah, do it. Because I do read it as a programmer, so I bet they do too.
Yeah, it kind of guides me as a programmer as well, as going, this is our first project. These folks have done 30 films. I'm going to judge them totally different,
Yeah,
but I want them both seen.
yeah.
If they're what we think is going to be good for the film festival. And we want to help get the newer folks seen on a screen in front of other people.
I mean, like, the movie that Micah, like, I'll talk about Micah any day. I didn't say this through space, so it's fine. I can say it on the live stream. Like, the movie that Micah showed in 2019, that you showed at First City Film Fest, that was a wild film.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, and I think you would only have shown it had it been a student filmmaker. Because it was crazy long, it was very experimental, and they gave it a lot of screens. And I'm so glad it did, because, like, you can see in that film, like, oh, this guy has a lot of potential. But honestly, if I turned that film into you today, you'd be like, Patrick, no. Like,
You're so much better than that, Patrick.
no.
Hi, my name is Maya. I am the committee head for the One Night Stand. It is a timed competition in which you get 3 prompts early in the morning. You have 10 hours to complete your film. It gets screened that night and that night only, hence the name, the One Night Stand. This competition has been a long-standing tradition in the IFC. It has been around for, I believe, around 25 years now. What does this competition mean to me? Boy, this competition is an opportunity to work with different people, perhaps people that you've never worked with before. But its main purpose is to help you learn time management. You can't work on any one part of your film for too long, or you're not going to be able to complete it. So you have to make sure that you have your script and your locations ready on a timely manner so that you can be done shooting by early afternoon to allow for editing. I hope that you will join us for this One Night Stand this year. It's going to be a fantastic time. Get your friends together. Get somebody with a camera if you don't have one. Find somebody who is interested in acting, and have a great day.
If you are a member of the IFC, you get 15% off on lights on gear rentals. Did anybody know that? Okay, great. What was the question?
We love discounts.
We love discounts. We love discounts, and we love a good community partner. So we want to start highlighting our member benefits. We can go to the next one, which should be all of our member benefits. Yay! One of our key member benefits, which has been so cool since getting it, is access to Masterclass Online. Does anybody know what that is? Has anybody done these? Yay! I have been devouring it and enjoying it so much. For those of you who don't know, there are directors, filmmakers, cinematographers, writers from all different levels, of all different backgrounds, who have very differing views on how they approach their creative work. And you get to watch them and enjoy them. And you get all of that for free at our base membership of $50 a year. This also gets you discounts to all of our competitions. It gets you discounts at places like Lights On. So there's a lot of benefits to not only you being a member of the IFC, but just supporting the IFC. With that, we're able to do programming like this. Thank you to our home of the Bird Comedy Theater for being our host and being so amazing.
It's for a weird black screen. No.
Yeah.
So in the submission process, the why statement, why this film, why you, why now, would be compelling things to contribute to a bio and a description of
Yes.
the film?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Great, okay. So do you also program through Film Freeway? Is that how
Yeah,
you
yeah.
accept? So I'd love to segue the discussion into Film Freeway and that platform, and not only why is it maybe useful to you, but what is important features about this? I've never really been on there. I'm an actor.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go? I have so much to say about Film Freeway.
Yeah, but you get time later.
Oh, cool. Great. So, talking about Film Freeway, as a film festival, oddly enough, for bird watching, Film Freeway isn't perfectly created because it's not made for a monthly film festival. It's made for a yearly film festival. So there are some weird quirks to the way our festival works within Film Freeway. I put up with it though because it's kind of the industry standard. And that's like a weird thing to say, that our film festival submissions have an industry standard, but they do. It used to be Without a Box, and then Without a Box died, and now it's Film Freeway. So as a festival, it is really kind of nice, honestly. You've got all your films in a really easy little way. You can score them. You can have different judges score them. I use almost none of those features as a film festival. It is nice though, because I can easily ask to download your film, and then you can click one button and I can download your film, instead of trying to get you to send me 6 different links that kind of work in weird ways. That's useful. As a filmmaker, Film Freeway is a must for me. If I see a film festival that's advertising me on Facebook and they don't have a Film Freeway, I'm sketched out. It just shows that step of professionality that makes me trust it that little bit. Then, beyond that though, before you submit to any film festival, do your due diligence. Look into it a lot more. Look into what they're screening, when they screen, how often they screen, what types of films they screen, and whether or not they're like what you're making, because it's probably more likely that they're going to screen something that they've screened in the past. Something like that, they'll screen again. If it's a horror film fest, don't send your comedy. Like, make sure it makes sense for the film that you're sending.
Is
Look-
there a way to research, like,
Yeah, Film Freeway. Film Freeway is a great
Yeah,
way
but
to research it.
through
And then,
Film Freeway?
yeah, so Film Freeway has a bunch of really good search analytics. And then beyond that, though, you can click into each festival. You can read all their rules, read all their descriptions. They often have a website connected. You'll click to their website. You'll read through their website. You'll read through their old festival lineups. You can look at those films. Sometimes you'll see them on IMDb. Sometimes you'll be able to, if you Google that film and the filmmaker name, you'll be able to find it on YouTube. Even though it's unlisted, you can search. I believe in you. Like, hunt this stuff down. Really figure out whether or not it's a good film festival. My, like, hot takeaway, like, this is my soapbox stance. If it's a film awards, if it's New York Film Awards, don't submit. If it's Atlanta Film Awards, don't submit. Film awards are money laundering schemes. They are bullshit. It's not a screening. It's just a laurels buying company. It's a place that wants to take your money to then give some people laurels. And there is a benefit to having laurels on your film. I understand, like when I post my YouTube thing with the
What
title
are
card with a bunch of
laurels?
laurels, it's the thing that says official selection. So when you post that YouTube title card with a bunch of laurels, people will click on it. But if I see film awards, I'm like, oh, I don't take that seriously. Because I know that the film awards are just trying to steal your money as an artist. I get really like, oh, I get hot. I'm hot and bothered at that, like for real. I get fiery.
As I don't know if you, Joe, I don't know if you're a filmmaker or not,
No.
but what would you, when people are planning for submissions to festivals, what do you think the average filmmaker might spend to get into the festivals in which they would qualify for and be able to attend? My soapbox is being able to attend as a filmmaker. If you can't attend, I don't understand the benefit.
That's why film awards are bullshit, because you can't attend it. It's not real. Yeah, make sure there's a screening. Make sure it's a screening you can attend. Make sure you have a way to get there. Vegan Apocalypse, my last short film that did festivals, went to London, and that was really cool to say, but I don't have a passport, so it was fucking useless. Yeah, I'll keep answering, but I'll let Joe talk for a second.
Yeah, we're in Leavenworth. It's a short drive. There's more than a fort. There's more than a prison. There's some amazing restaurants there. Great opportunity to film. There's a lot of locations out there that if you ask around, the businesses will gladly work with you. I know of a diner if somebody's looking for a diner. We've got an Airbnb that we rented out or loaned out.
I filmed at their Airbnb.
Yeah, at our house, which at one point was a restaurant from 1950 to 2005. And the families that have lived there since left the bar. So we've got a restaurant-sized bar in our house. It has been used as a set. I've seen a little bit of the footage and it looked freaking good. But it's also been the location for after party.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all shake cocktails. We've sat around, talked about movies, played guitar.
But yeah, so like Jamie was kind of saying, make sure you can attend the festival. Make sure it's a place that you can go to. Start kind of regionally. A lot of festivals like films from their region. There's a lot of festivals that are Midwest centric. There's a lot of festivals that are genre specific. Look into those things. What else was your question? I got a little.
Money in terms of how
that
to
was
budget,
it.
but
Yes.
I actually feel like we should segue because that's a really big discussion.
Well, I have like kind of a quick like
Great. guesstimate.
Yeah. Because the thing is it is all film festivals. It's a gamble. It's totally gambling, and it is a lot of places taking really large submission numbers and just taking your money, and that's why bird watching is free, because as an artist, I don't like taking artists' money. It bothers me. So when you're looking at festivals, if you can submit at the earliest deadline,
Oh, yeah.
always try to. It's always going to be cheaper. But like, it seems based on the last couple things I've done, if you're looking at like submitting to about 14 film festivals that have an okay reputation, I'd say in the $500 range gets you about that, like 12 to 15 film fests. But also your acceptance rate is generally, I think they average like 10%, I think, is what the numbers are. I don't actually know that. That's me making up a number based on what I think I've seen like once or twice. But
If I remember right, it was what, 35 to submit to our festival?
I'll believe that.
Yeah.
Lolo paid it.
That's late submissions, $35. It's,
Yeah.
what about a 45-minute drive from here?
I'd say like 15 to 60 is a lot of film festivals, $15 to $60. Some of them will get a little higher than that. Sundance gets a lot higher than that. Bentonville gets so expensive. Oh my God. Bentonville was going to cost me like $95. And I was like, I know you're a big film festival. I know you're great. If I'm saying I have $500 to spend, 100 of it isn't going to Bentonville, sorry.
I have a quick, if someone's doing a film, when would you say that they should have it done if they are wanting to do a festival run within the same year?
So that totally depends. I think that there's two kind of different seasons. There's definitely a spring and a fall. So like we're hitting the spring right now, and then we're about to hit a fall, and you usually have to submit 6 months ahead of time. If you are aiming for certain festivals, make sure you're reading the rules. Make sure you're looking at what they require and when they require it. Some festivals want a premiere status. Some festivals want different tiers of premiere status. If you are screening at Tallgrass Film Festival, sorry Joe, I'm going to throw First City on the bus in 2
I
seconds.
want to go to Tallgrass.
So if you're submitting to Tallgrass Film Festival, that's in October, they want a Kansas premiere especially for features. So if you're a feature filmmaker, you've got a feature film, and First City's deadline's coming up, you might, this is what I chose to do, not submit to First City this year with your feature because you're hoping it goes to Tallgrass next year. And like that sucks, and it sucks to be like, sorry Joe, but like, I want to go to Tallgrass. So hopefully that's where that goes. And you have to like read your rules, check it out. Like, Texas is huge. And there's a bunch of film festivals, and there's a bunch of big film festivals. And most of them want some sort of premiere status. Generally, because Texas is so big, they want like a regional to Texas even. They'll be like, just the Dallas-Fort Worth area premiere, or just the Houston premiere. Like, they are city specific, Texas is big enough. But like, the festivals do care. If your dream is Sundance, if you really think your film is going to get into Sundance, Sundance wants a premiere, South by Southwest wants a premiere, but they always solicit films as well. So have fun with that.
On that note, I think we should take some questions. We're at our time to wrap up.
Okay.
So, we'll take questions, and then we'll talk about your film festivals, and we'll pump those up a little bit.
Tight.
Can you talk about making DCPs? Because I know we had issues with that a couple of years ago.
I wish I could talk
We
more.
are talking about DCPs for everybody that couldn't hear.
Great job. I wish I could talk more about making DCPs. It's a digital cinema package. It's the required format for certain film festivals for theatrical release. A lot of those film festivals nowadays will offer you a discount code for using the system company that makes them that they have partnered with this year. And they will try to make you partner with them as well and pay them a bunch of money to make your DCP, which is great, and they probably make a great DCP. Often you can do it yourself. There are softwares, DaVinci Resolve can make a DCP. Adobe.
In the free version?
I don't know the answer to that. Adobe can technically make a DCP, but I know that last year the AMC doesn't like that version of DCP, so they won't take those. But Lolo, what's the
DCP-O-Matic.
DCP-O-Matic? Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Also,
There you go. Chat with Lolo if you want to know more at DCPs. She makes mine. Sorry, Gordon. You got the dumber one up here.
It's just a, it's
Why
it
did we
was
do
a-
that?
I don't know.
It was an added cost that I think if you're going to do festivals.
But yeah, it's definitely something to think about. You're right. Cost-wise, especially if you have a feature film. I think last year, what was it? It was like $10 a minute,
15.
$15 a minute. So that gets pretty high. If you have a 10-minute movie, it's $150. But if you have a 100-minute movie, it's $1,000 plus. It's grand some change. You can do the math.
Other questions?
As an actor going to maybe the first film festival, how should we present ourselves when introducing ourselves to a producer?
The question is, as an actor attending a film festival, how should one present themselves to a producer or director?
I think personally, you should have seen their movie. If you have a chance to see their movie, definitely try to go see that film. And then once you've seen that film, that allows you also to know if this is so rude. I'm so rude sometimes. You know whether or not it's worth your time. Like whether or not that's the type of movie you want to be in, or that's the type of people you want to work with. Then if you've seen that and you feel that way, I honestly just think you can just be like, hey, I'm an actor, this is what I've done before. I have show and tell. Yeah, I do. I love physical things, and I think that they work. So I make little postcards for all of my movies. So I've got the poster on one side, I've got a little bit of blurbage on the other side, as well as a link tree to my socials on this one. I've got the No Small Parts one. It's also got its own little things. It's got a link to the IFC website because it was produced by the IFC. But I know they work because this film is a film I saw at KC Film Fest forever ago. I think KC Film Fest, called Finding Keanu, and I've kept their sticker all these years because I like this sticker. It says, "Where is he?" It's got a little blurred out Keanu, and it's adorable. And I will never forget this movie, Finding Keanu, because it lives on my desk all the time. And so if you have something like that to give someone when you're introduced to them, generally they're going to keep it. They're going to hold on to it. Even if they don't keep it forever, they'll keep it for that day. They'll throw it in their pocket. It should be pocket-sized. They'll throw it in their pocket, and then later that night they'll pull it out. Like, oh yeah, there was that actor. Maybe I should look her up on Instagram. Oh, there's that actor. Here's a link to her website on her card. Give them something that they can follow up. Make it so they can't forget who you are. Also, with film festivals, use social media. A thing that I figured out at Tallgrass 2 years ago is that a lot of film festivals have a hashtag. Beyond putting it on your stuff, click that hashtag yourself, follow everyone that's using that hashtag. Then they'll see that you followed them. They'll be like, oh, I saw that person at the film festival, they'll follow you back. Use all these things to your advantage. It is a fun party. It's a great time to celebrate the work you've put in. It's also a weekend of work. The festival is the job.
Yeah. It's always handy to have that stuff close by, because I constantly get stuff from all the film crews and actors and actresses, and even though I'm just involved with a little film festival, it's like, yeah, I'll follow them up, and I've seen some careers grow like crazy.
So really quickly, to tag on, and maybe you can continue,
Sure.
how as a filmmaker who maybe doesn't have a film that was submitted or just wants to attend, how can they festival well?
I think that's go see movies. Go see, KC Film Fest even has expected filmmaker attendance on the schedule often. So if you see that, or so does Tallgrass, they say expected filmmaker attendance. I think First City does often too.
We'll make a little note.
Yeah, if it says expected filmmaker, make that part of your films you're expecting to go see, so you can see the film, see that Q&A, clock the film to a face, and then hunt that face down.
Yeah. Yeah, with our festival, your guys are usually around all weekend.
Yeah, we're hanging out,
Yeah.
because it is, like I said, it's both a party and it's work. So like, figure out how you can be fun party vibes while working.
Find that balance.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say to it is I leave, and this one felt like the best to show it, I leave a space on this where I can write exactly when and where they can see the movie. So you can either like print out strips to do it, you can do a label maker and put it there. I'll just use Sharpie sometimes. I'll be like, hey, my movie's almost sort of maybe. It's screening Sunday at 12:30. And I hand it, and that way they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I know exactly what it is. I don't even have to scan that code because people are gonna be lazy. They're just inherently lazy. Make it hard for them to be lazy. Make it hard for them to not see your movie.
Also, people very much like to have things in their hands and something to look at.
Yeah.
So just know that that's a thing, and that you giving them something instantly offers an engagement to where they feel more comfortable.
And like when I act in a thing that's shown at a film festival, if I'm going with the director to that film festival, I'll ask them like, hey, do you have postcards? Give me some. And I'll be like, hey, as an actor, I'll be like, hey, I'm in this movie. And sometimes, like, fingers crossed, I'm on that poster. And I'm like, I'm in this movie. That's my face. You can have my face.
As an actor, I've made my own postcards if the production hasn't had them.
Good work.
And then specifically put my face.
Sneaky.
I love that.
Thank you.
Because there are like tables out at festivals, like put them in the VIP lounge, put your postcard everywhere. Make it so abundant that you can't miss it. They're
And
not
go
crazy
with people.
expensive.
You will find people that have stuff here. Go with them. Tell them that you're going to see their film and say,
Oh, yeah.
like, can I meet up with you beforehand? Can I
Yep.
meet up with you after? Can I see you at the Filmmaker Lounge? I think there's amazing opportunities to do your research, be sneaky. We're all sneaky. We all watch each other's stuff. So
Borrow ideas.
I mean, I've slid into people's DMs to be like, hey, I really like your work.
Yeah.
Didn't get to say hi. I really like what you did. Good job.
So with that, like Tallgrass has an online portion of the film festival. It happens after the film fest. So you can do as much socializing as you can and be like, is your film going to be online afterwards? And they go, yeah, it is. And you go, great, I'm going to catch it then. And then what I did this year is I sat down 3 days after Tallgrass, I watched everything. And then I messaged every single filmmaker I met that hey, I finally got to catch your movie. This was great about it. So like she said, make sure you stay in their brains.
With that, I think we're at our time. Please talk about your film festivals that you have and the next time that we can come see the things. How can we do the things?
Birdwatching Film Fest, 4th Wednesday every month, right here. Free to submit, free to attend. If you have trouble submitting, just message us. We'll help you out. Because it is a little tricky, because you have to be Kansas or Missouri. Beyond that, the next one, like Jamie said, is the Best of Birdwatching 2024. Every Birdwatching Film Fest, we do 3 Audience Choice winners. Those winners get given to 10 anonymous judges that all are working in the industry. And then we take those numbers and we give out awards to people. And we even tell you who's nominated. Because the whole purpose, to me, is to get more films seen. It's to build excitement about your guys' films. So the more I can be like, this one was up for Best Actor for this thing. Go watch it. If I can convince you to watch it, that's the dream. So come watch the films next week. It'll be the best ones we showed in 2024. We'll be giving out awards, and then we will also show a small selection of those best of films.
It's a fun time.
It's gonna be hella dope.
Yeah.
What was the question again?
What's your film fest?
Film festival. What are you doing here?
It's been the fourth weekend of March since it was founded. So this year's the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I believe tickets are available through our website.
I don't think stuff's up yet.
Okay, Dish has been behind. She's been dealing with, right now, vertigo. Not fun. Yeah. The tickets will be available very soon. I think it's like $7 for a block, and that's like an hour long. If you do the VIP pass, that gets you the entire weekend, including the party on Friday.
Do that one.
Yeah.
The Party Friday is really fun.
Yeah, it also gets you access to the VIP lounge, which people can place their cards in.
And there's booze.
Boulevard Brewery is one of our sponsors.
Wonderful.
Yeah, but yeah, submissions for that started, I want to say like middle of August or September.
That sounds right.
Yeah, and then they cut off, I want to say December, like the middle of December. So just kind of keep an eye out for this coming year. Yeah.
Great. Without any further ado, please give a round of applause to these fine human beings.